It's another Christmas holiday. Come on, everybody, sing with me. It's a joyous day. Let the angels sing, and we're together, We got a thing. Hey, I can't let you slip away. Go outside, it's raining, but about it. I don't care what the I forgot the words, but nevertheless, once again, it's on. Back at you one more again, Real Kids TV in the House Like Kitchen Sinks. Before we get into this evening's video, Christmas Eve video, if you will, understand that I'm the self-proclaimed Mr. 30 Minutes or Better, meaning that anytime I bring you a story, it's guaranteed to be 30 minutes or better. So if you're on your way to work, you don't feel like being there, your coworkers talking your head off, you're on your way home from work, you need to laugh, you need to cry, perhaps you're trying to lay down and take a nap, or you're trying to go to sleep at night, depending on whatever time you're listening to or viewing this video, or you're just in the mood for a good old-fashioned true, keyword being true, penitentiary / life story / life experience, this is the channel for you. If you prefer your 8 to 12 to 15-minute videos, absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But at Real Kids TV, it's 30 minutes or better, and it's Dallas Cowboy fans for life. So with all that being said, and with all that wrapped up into one big old nutshell, that is, there is a message. It's Christmas Eve. I'm excited. My Dallas Cowboys just won. You know, and before I get into the story, understand something now. This video is not going to be a short video. Now, it's not going to be extra long, excruciating long. Here I go making up words again, excruciating. Not excruciating, excruciating. Try that on for size, since y'all say I make up words. Respectfully. It's Christmas Eve. Everybody's at home, or people's at work, or, whatever the case may be. Real Kids is going to give it to you. Pause, though. Well, the ladies, it's not pause, but the fellas, I'm pause, double pause, triple pause. But I'm going to bring some heat for you all tonight. I'm going to bring some real heat for you this evening. I've spent so many years in prison. Done over 10 years in the Kentucky Department of Corrections. How many Christmases I've spent in prison. I've longed to be out with my family, and just, yesterday and today, man, I just went out, man, and I probably went a little overboard, man, and I did the most. I did the most, man. My family, man, I got everybody something, and I got a big family, and I just really, it's not about what you can give a person. You see what I'm saying? For Christmas, that's not even what Christmas is about. But at the same time, it's like, that's just my way of giving back, of just being appreciative. I can never repay the people that love me for all the years that I spent away. But I can show them that I do understand, and I can show them that, you know what, we can move forward. So I've been home for several years, but we can continue to move forward, because that lifestyle that I once lived, it's in the past. It's behind me. Infinite pause, because really nothing is ever going to be behind me, if you get my drift. But nevertheless, got a situation that took place. Y'all let me know where you're chiming in from on this Christmas Eve. I'm in Lexington, Kentucky. Y'all jump in the comments. Let me know where what city, what state. Merry Christmas to everybody. You know what I mean? Got a situation that took place in 2023 in Jackson, Mississippi. Jackson, Mississippi, brother. You know how the wrestlers used to talk? The Four Horsemen. Or wrestle like Dusty Rhodes. When you come down to Jackson, Mississippi, brother. The Spectrum Coliseum. We gonna get funky like a monkey, brother. Them wrestlers, man. I love wrestling, as you all can probably tell. Shout out to everybody working tonight. Once again, the truck drivers, the healthcare workers, the Amazon drivers, UPS, Uber, DoorDash, Instacart. If you're mopping floors, sweeping floors, you work in the restaurants, the gas stations, the grocery stores, man. Everybody, man. Shout out to you. You got to do what you got to do to make these ends meet, man. That's just what it is in life, man. You got to do what you got to do to make ends meet. Man. I appreciate every last one of you all. And that's on my word. So my word, son. How they talk on the East Coast in New York. What's up, son? No disrespect whatsoever. One of my best partners in the world is from Spanish Harlem. So we go back. He talk about we country here. So, what's up, kid? We go back and forth, but, just friendliness. Jackson, Mississippi, 2023. It was just last year. I believe it was in March of 23. Had a young man named Tyler, 22 years old. Never been in trouble a day in his life. Yeah, he had been arrested before for an assault charge. The charge ultimately was dismissed. But besides that, he had no troubles. Worked at a warehouse. He aspired to be a truck driver. And keep in mind, he's 22 years old, so he's still trying to find himself in this world, if you will. He goes on a dating site. Who don't go on a dating site? Most young people are on dating sites consistently. Got older people that are on dating sites just as well. Not myself. I'm not really into the dating sites because I'm a single man, but I don't like setting up the profiles and the emails and verifying. I don't like doing none of that stuff. So, I'm old school, man. I catch you at the gas station or the grocery store or the gym or, I'm a face-to-face type of individual anyway. He goes on a dating site and he meets a young lady, beautiful young lady in his mind, in his thought. Kiara was 5 years older than Tyler, 27 years old. Plenty of pictures on her site. She was a healthcare worker. She seemed that, she was in school. She was really about her career. She looks interesting. She, besides the fact that she looked good to him, she appeased his eyes. Easy on the eyes for him. I'm really interested in other things about her. He sends a message. She shoots a message back. From that point on, the two of them would consistently message each other back and forth on this site. 247 messages that they exchanged. Couple days, time span. 247 messages is not really a lot of messages if you're going back and forth. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, son? I say about a week later. 5-6 days. We're just going to say a week later. The two of them decided to hook up. Tyler made his move. Hey, what's going on, man? Tonight, anyway, we can get together. Netflix, just chill, get some popcorn, get some food or whatever. Just chill, relax. Kick the Willy Bobo. The Willy Bobo, Urban Dictionary, just how can I put this? Have a good time. Sure, come on over. She gives him the address. He comes over. He goes to her apartment. Everything's cool. He walks in, everything, and she got the candles. She got something, Kiara rather, has something, not necessarily sexy on. Well, I don't know. Kiara is dressed for the occasion, for the moment. Tyler comes in. Like I said, he got the popcorn, whatever. Neither one of them drink. They don't smoke. They don't drink. Very, very odd. 22-year-old and a 27-year-old. Neither drink or smoke. Congrats to both of them. They're sitting there, they're watching Netflix. About 45 minutes into it, they start to become intimate on the couch. Actually, they were already intimate on the couch. Now, when I say intimate, they weren't like sexually intimate, but they were, they were getting there. Kara suggested, let's go on back to my room. They go back to her room. That's where it goes down. They continue to be intimate and do whatever, foreplay or whatever that you do before you do the do, if you will. Something wasn't right. As good as is in Tyler's eyes, as good as this woman looked, something wasn't right. I'm talking about they were kissing, they were rubbing, they were. What in the beezy? Tyler reaches down, feels something that he was not supposed to feel. Tyler reaches down in the intimate moment of intimacy, if you will, and feels something on Kiara that he just was not supposed to feel. What the feezy? Jumps back, jumps up. She jumps up. What's the problem? What's the problem? What you mean, what's the problem? See, what Kiara failed to tell Tyler is that she was a transgender. Very beautiful appearance that, on her her pictures, on her, profile, what have you. But she failed to mention that she was a transgender. A total surprise. Tyler had absolutely no clue that this Kiara was a transgender. When y'all look at the thumbnail, because this is a real picture of Kiara. Would you know that Kiara was a transgender? Keep it real. As I mentioned, Tyler jumps up. He's yelling, he's screaming, he's going crazy. I was going to tell you, but just the vibe was everything was just so cool, and I didn't want to ruin it. And what difference does it make that, I'm a transgender, the connection is there. What difference does it make? Kiara's really trying to get this point across to Tyler. Tyler's not trying to hear anything. When Tyler came into the house, what I failed to mention, he carried a backpack with him. His peers said that wherever he went, he always had a backpack. He kept his wallet, kept his like a little computer or his laptop. And he had a 9mm that he had purchased a few months prior to this situation occurring. Smith & Wesson, 9mm. Kept it with him. Never left home without it. He grabs his bag. He grabs his 9mm. You gonna sit up here and try to play me? You could have told me this. You didn't have to. She's pleading for her life. Tyler wasn't trying to hear none of that. Bam! Fires. Fatal shot to the chest. They said it went to her heart. Instantly, she was unalived. Hits her 2 more times. Boom, boom. During the process of this, her sister had came into the house. Her sister had Kiara's sister, rather, had a key to the house. Her name was Jessica. She came in to drop off some textbooks because they were both in college. The younger sister. Kiara was 27. They didn't say exactly how old Jessica was, but she was a younger sister. She was in college, so, probably a few years younger. She walks in the door to see exactly what was going on. Tyler didn't even know that there was anyone else in the house. So as soon as she busts through the door, he just turns around. Boom, boom. He fires twice. He hits her. Oh, my God, what's going on? He leaves. He instantaneously runs out of the house. When he runs out of the house, he got his gun with him, the 9mm. But his bag, he fails to grab that. That has his identification, his wallet, everything that he keeps. It's like a lot of times, obviously dudes don't carry purses, but they may carry a backpack. So everything that you would keep in your wallet or in your purse as a woman, dudes may keep in their backpack. He leaves the scene. People see him leave. When he came to the scene, he drove his car, but for whatever reason, I guess once he got downstairs, he realized that he didn't have his keys to the car. So he just takes off on foot. He didn't want to go back upstairs and get the key because there was neighbors and people, they were outside, and he already knew that they had called the police. So I can't go back up and get my keys. He's gone. He's running or what have you. He ends up he steals a bike, and the bike gets him to wherever he's trying to go. Although he didn't even know exactly where he was trying to go. While he's trying to escape the scene, the murder scene, the ambulance, police has arrived. Unfortunately for Kiara, she was DOA. We're going to call it U. She just wasn't around, basically. I was trying to say, DOA, you all know what that means. So I guess it would be UOA. Unalive upon arrival. She was gone. Jessica was in bad shape, but they were able to get her to the hospital to where they were later able to save her life. 36-hour manhunt. They're looking for Tyler. He's considered, because the suspect is considered armed and dangerous. He has a prior criminal history, assault charge that was dismissed, or a simple assault charge that was dismissed, no weapons or anything like that. So they were painting a picture. That's what the police do. That's what the media does. They'll paint a picture as though you're like a dangerous individual. Now, what he did wasn't the right thing to do, but this was not a dangerous individual to where he was just gonna kick your door in and grape you or unalive you. No, but the media will paint that picture. Y'all rock with me. Y'all rock with me, man. Christmas Eve. He's on the run. They're looking for him. He doesn't really have anything with him. Everything that he pretty much had was in the backpack. He can't go home. He's smart. I can't go home. I can't. He did have his phone with him, but he knows that they'll ping his phone or whatever, so he doesn't use his phone. He uses his phone one time. Calls his cousin in a different city. Same state, different city. A couple counties over, whatever. He calls his cousin. Police is able to ping the phone. They get in touch with the cousin. He called me, but he didn't tell me where he was at. But they were able to see that he was within 3 miles of his cousin's house. So now they're looking at the cousin as, nah, you know something. Yeah, you know something. Few hours, several hours goes past, what have you. They end up finding him like in a storage unit or something like that. They find him, they take him to the police station. When they arrest him, there's no resistance. There's no sort of, y'all got me. I knew you all were coming for me eventually. I knew you were going to find me. You got me. Take him to the police station. Read him his Miranda rights. That's what they'll do. That if you notice, police is always gonna. Okay, well, before we get into, because we want to know your side of the story, but before we get your side, because I'm sure that you have a side of the story. Before we get into that, we have to read you your Miranda rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. You have the right. They go through all of that. Do you wish to talk to us? Now, a motherfucker like me is like, man, a motherfucking lawyer, man. Plead the fifth, man. The fuck you mean? You're not talking your way out of an interrogation room, but I'm a 3-time loser. Nothing braggadocious about that whatsoever. But I kind of know my way around the courtroom, if you will. But everybody doesn't. This individual he's had one arrest he didn't know. It's not like Ken's TV was around. Well, actually, I was around then, but he evidently didn't see any of my videos, because if he did, he would know. Never talk to the police. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. I got to excuse my voice. I'm not all the way back. I had been under the weather for the last week or so, and fighting my way back. Trying to make my way back, trying to make my way back to you all. He waives his rights, talks to the police. Anytime you talk to the police, I mean, you're just giving away years that you have to live out here in this free world. Here you go. Here's another 5 years. Oh, I found another 6 years. Oh, here's another 11 years. Fifth Amendment. I plead the fifth. I don't got nothing to say. I plead the fifth. Plead the fifth, man. Allow your attorney to talk to the police. You're not talking your way out of the situation. You're just going to dig a deeper hole for yourself. He tells the people, 6-7 hour investigation. You imagine just talking to somebody for 6 or 7 hours? Oh my, you know how teenagers do, young people. Oh my God, I just told you. Going over the same thing. Tells them exactly what I just told you all. I snapped. Grabbed my bag, pulled my 9mm out. I went in my right frame of mind and I boom. I blasted. Okay, well, why did you blast the sister when she came? Because I didn't even know anyone was in the house. So when the door just abruptly, swung open, I turned and boom. No. They continue to talk to him. Continue to put that pressure on him. Then it went from, I didn't know that anyone was in the house to where, well, I didn't want to leave any witnesses. Oh, bro. You, and I'm just figuratively speaking. No. Everything that he told the police, they used against him. Trial time came. Feds stepped in, actually, picked the case up. The feds picked the case up and said this was a hate crime. It was a premeditated hate crime. He brought that bag in with that 9mm for a reason. They interviewed his family. They interviewed his co-workers. His co-workers said, man, he was cool, calm, collected, but he made a whole lot of jokes about the LGBTQ community. He made a whole lot of jokes. He was not fond of the LGBTQ community whatsoever. Other than that, dude was a good dude. It's not like he hated him. It's not like he was saying he was going to physically do anything to him. He just made a whole lot of jokes about him. Hate crime. This guy's never going to get out of prison ever again. 22 years old. 22, 23 at the time. At the time of the trial, rather. He goes to trial with it. Prosecution, they're giving their account. The defense, he don't got no money. His people don't got no money like that. So guess what? He goes to trial with a public defender. You got a few public defenders that are really, really trying to make a difference. So they'll start out as a public defender, and then they'll become a paid attorney, and they become very, very good. There's one in Lexington, Kentucky. I challenge you, or not challenge, Daniel Whitley. He's the people's champion in Lexington, Kentucky. Came up in the hood, East End, which is the projects or the hood. Came up with nothing. Little fat kid. Now he's the people's champ. Everybody loves Daniel Whitley. Went to law school. He failed a couple times trying to go out and get his own practice, but he continued to fight as a public defender and was beating the prosecution as a public defender. to where now he made a name for himself. The man is, I don't know if he's ever lost at trial. I'm not saying that he hasn't, but if he has, it hasn't been very many times. Daniel Whitley in Lexington, Kentucky. Everything I'm telling you all is factual. We don't make up no stories at Real Kens TV. But I say that to say this. That's out of the norm. Most public defenders don't have your best interests. They want you to come in and take a plea deal and whatever. You don't have a murder trial, federal murder trial. I don't know what it would charge, what it would cost. Because it wasn't just murder, first degree murder. They charged him with first degree. They charged this young man with first degree murder. Premeditated. Because you brought the backpack in that had your 9mm in it. But then attempted murder on the sister that kicked in the door abruptly and you didn't even know she was in the house. That's death penalty action, for lack of better terms. Facing a death penalty in the feds. It don't matter if you're facing a death penalty in the feds, the state. The death penalty is the death penalty. Goes to trial with it, as I mentioned, 4 days in. Both parties agree. Because, see, once you go to trial, there can still be an agreement reached. Plea deal. 50 years. I agree to take 50 years. It gives them an opportunity. See, 50 years in the feds, you do 85% of that time, right? Which would mean 50 years at 85% would be roughly, we do 8.5 for every 10 that you do. So it's 40, 41, 42. So you're looking at about 42 and a half years that you would do in the feds. You're 23 years old at this point, but you've been locked up for, let's just say you'll get out when you're about 65. 65, 66 years. You want to have some time on the streets or go to trial and get natural life? Because, see, the state, when you get life in Kentucky anyway, don't necessarily mean that you have life. You may get a life sentence, but you still go up for parole after 25 years, 20 years. It's just in Kentucky. But in the feds, man, life is life. You want to live a few days, a few years, or you want to spend the rest of your days in the federal penitentiary? He takes the 50. But when he takes the 50, his lawyer did do him a good deed. But it was a kind of the judge just as well. Had a black judge. A lot of people, come on, Kens, why you always make things race? I don't always do anything. I just keep it I keep it solid. I keep it what it is, man. What it truly is. You know why they don't like black people on a jury? When there's a black person, a defendant that's charged with a crime, because they say blacks are more empathetic towards each other. I'm not making this up. All the years that we were deprived and done wrong, they feel as though no matter what this person did, if they black, you're gonna acquit them, not guilty. That's how they think in the court system. Just keeping it real with you all. What's real is real. It's a black judge. She looked at the whole case, the ramifications. She looked at everything about the case. Young man, you need to face the actions of your the consequences of your actions, rather. She gave him a long spiel, long speech that he needed to hear. But ultimately, she gave him 50 years, 20 years suspended. Meaning you serve 30, the other 20, I'm going to suspend these 20 years. Big difference now. 30 years is still a long time, but now instead of doing, 40 years, what did I say initially, 42 and a half years? I think that's what I said, 42, 43 years. Now in a 30-year sentence, which is still a long time, young people, you're going to do about 25, 26 years. Meaning that when you come home, you'll still be in your 40s, 47, 48 years old. She suspended it. Prosecution didn't like that whatsoever. See, the fact that Tyler didn't have any money, his family didn't have any money to pay a lawyer $60,000 to go to trial, because that's what it was going to be on the low end. So I don't like lawyers, man. I don't like lawyers because they crooks. Crooks, man. Here it is. This young man got on a regular dating site, not a gay dating site. Have no problem with gays. Have no problem with transgenders whatsoever. But what I do have a problem with is people that trick people. If you're gay and you want to indulge, do your thing. And I'm not even saying that facetiously. I'm not even saying that jokingly. If you want to do your thing, do your thing. You like what you like. But what I don't agree with, once again, is tricking a motherfucker. Don't tell me that you're a woman and you're not really a woman. And then when I find out that you're not, well, what's the big deal? We have a connection. I know that you love me. I know. No, you don't do that. But he didn't have the representation that was gonna, man, if his dudes, people had some money or he had some money, he would have beat that. I don't think he would have totally beat it, because the sister that walked in the room, he shot her a couple times, but he wouldn't have gotten all that time. He would have gotten a little time, but not all the time that he got. And then again, he may not have gotten any time, because I didn't know who was in the house. I didn't know anybody was in the house, so I see a door swing over. I just swing. I just shoot. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. He fires twice. Once he realized what was going on, he sees that he could have finished her off, but he didn't. He left. But she didn't deserve that. In my opinion, nobody deserves to be shot. The sister Jessica definitely didn't. And even Kiara, she was deceiving, but he should have just left. She didn't deserve it. But at the same time, Tyler didn't deserve all the years that he got, in my humble opinion. He'll get out in his 40s, 46, 47 years old. And once you take a plea deal, you waive your rights to an appeal. So unless it's something that's extenuating evidence, something that's really, really that you didn't know or you weren't aware of at the time of the trial, you're going to do all of those years. Can't just go around tricking people, man. Again, I'm going to reiterate, you can't just go around taking the law in your own hands and shooting people either. Inflicting and causing harm and danger and pain upon people either. So let's, understand that. Prosecution try to make it because he came in with the backpack, it was premeditated. That's how the hate crime came into play. How the hell I know that I was going to do this to her? Or to do this to Kiara, in which I perceived to be her, when I didn't even know that Kiara was a transgender. Why would you bring a backpack? It's how they do you when you don't got no money. Why would you bring a backpack? Because I'm a licensed gun carrier. I can bring my gun wherever I go. The fuck you mean? Why did I bring my backpack? I take my backpack wherever I go. This is my first time meeting this individual. I don't know, when you meet somebody online, it could be a setup. It could be anything. So I'm going to bring my protection that I have a right to bring and carry with me. See, the prosecution twisted it. They made it seem as though when he went over there, it was premeditated. He already knew what he was going to do. Now think about that. They went back through and looked at all the text messages between, well, not the text messages, but the regular messages on social media, on the platform. 247. There was no mentions of what Kira truly was. There was no sexual talk, nothing explicit. It was just regular conversation, flirting back and forth. Guess what the prosecution said? Tyler should have asked, are you a transgender? Are you a woman? Are you a man? Should have asked more questions. You know the jury's going to buy that. You should have asked more questions. See, Tyler's whole defense was, man, I just blooped. I didn't know. I wasn't in my right frame of mind. I'm thinking I'm dealing with a woman, and then I see that I'm dealing with a man, and I just grabbed my weapon and I fired, and then somebody kicked swang the door open or whatever, and I fired. I wasn't in my right frame of mind. Tyler made a mistake by even talking to the police, for one. For two, Tyler tells the police eventually, after 6-7 hours of being interrogated, well, I shot Jessica, the sister, because I didn't want to leave any witnesses. Oh, God, you just got yourself like 30 more years. Now, don't get it twisted. He should not. Jessica was an innocent individual. Nothing should have happened to her. And I'm not even saying anything should have happened to Kiera, but definitely nothing should have happened to Jessica, I'm sorry. Put yourself in them shoes. If you're in a situation, if you're in a house, a dwelling, a home, or whatever you want to call it, and you dealing with this person, you are arguing, the door just swings open and hits the wall. You don't know that this person's even in the house. Not saying that Tyler couldn't have used better discretion. See, the prosecution will really, really twist everything around. That's why I say, when you go and you find yourself in that police room, that interrogation room, they're watching you. They're watching your demeanor. Anything you say, Lord, please, man, I know I made a mistake, man, but please forgive me on my sin. No, don't say nothing, because they're watching you and everything is recorded. Audio, everything is recorded. Only thing you need to say is, when they read you your Miranda rights, because they try to do it slick, like they try to do it fast. Before we get started, because we want to get your side of it, as I've already mentioned this earlier in the video. But, we're going to give you an opportunity to tell your side. But before so, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used against you in court of law. Attorney, if you cannot afford an attorney, we'll provide you one. Blase, blase. Do you agree to speak with us? See, they're trying to befriend you. The detectives, they're trying to make you think that they're on your side, but they're not. They trying to bust your ass. I know you're afraid. I know that your mind is spinning and your head is spinning, whatever, and you're just like, oh man. They play good cop, bad cop. They can't get it done. Another detective will come in. The police are not your friends. They're not. Do I think that Tyler should have gotten some time? Yeah. Because you shouldn't have done that. You had other alternatives. Don't just shoot somebody because they do you wrong, man. I understand that your soul and your feelings will hurt because you don't swing that way. But there are other alternatives. But the fact that you shot the sister, but 30 years, no, I don't think he deserved that. I don't think that Tyler deserved that, being that the circumstances were what they were. He takes a 30-year sentence. And after that, man, they start all type of foundations, organizations, donations for the LGBTQ community. Once again, I have no problem with nobody. Nobody, do what you do. But what I do have a problem with is nobody held this young lady or Kiara accountable for what? Going around tricking people on the internet. Nobody said nothing. No accountability. If you want to deal with somebody, a gay person, if you want to deal with somebody that's a transgender, all of that is cool. But you should have the option of knowing. That's all that I'm saying. That's all that I'm saying. Nobody should be able to trick you and get away with it and like you're the bad person. You're the bad guy. It's a lot of that goes on. Especially, I would say, predominantly online. Because I've had it happen to me. You will meet somebody and you don't know. You thinking that this person is who they say they are, who they say they be. Only to find out that no. But somehow they're the victims. Somehow you're the bad guy. Because they tricked you. You trying to force me to be gay? Ain't nothing wrong with being gay. There's nothing wrong with it. Man, listen, man. I promise you. When I see a person, when I see a gay person, I don't look at you as you. First of all, you're gay. You know that if you know that this individual is not gay, you're not trying to come on to this person because you know that they don't even swing that way. I don't have no problem at all with nobody. I promise you I don't. I've seen people, I often hear people, oh man, he's gay. He's gay in a motherfucker. Okay, well, you soft in a motherfucker. You a rat. If anything should jump off, you gonna go tell. So why are you judging this individual that his sexual preference or her sexual preference is not what yours is, but you want to insult? Man, fuck out of here, man. I don't have no problem with gay people at all. None. Nada. But just what I do have a problem with is trying to trick somebody. It's just like a person that's married. You married and you meet this young lady and you don't tell her that you married and you all getting to do and her feelings become involved and now you tell her or she finds out that you married. No, you dead wrong. You tell a person and then once you tell them, then they make the choice of, okay, well, at least they told me, and you do what you do at that point. You decide if you want to be involved with this individual, but at least you know the truth, the whole truth. But the trickery, the dokery, it's not cool. This young man, 30 years in the federal penitentiary. All because, I'm not going to say all because his actions, he could have done differently. But I want you all to ask yourself, jump into my comments, man. Feel free, man. I'll talk back. Talk to me, I'll talk back. What would you have done if you was in that situation, fellas? You found that somebody had deceived you and tricked you. I'm not talking about if you already knew. I'm talking about if somebody tricked you and you, what the f*** is he? You're trying to turn me into something that's not me. And then you want me to accept it. You want me to accept this sort of, I don't want to say behavior, but just understand that this is not my thing. I don't care anything about, we've talked on the phone and we've, developed a chemistry. And yeah, because you deceived me, I didn't know who I was speaking with. That just lets me know that a lot of this goes on and they're getting away with it. If you have the courage to try this on a person, you done it before, probably several times. Okay, well, he'll like it. He'll come around. You can't just go around doing that to people, man. These prosecutors always talk about it. They ruthless, man. They have no souls, no hearts. Prosecutors don't give a damn about you. They're not trying to look at it and see, okay, well, although you were wrong, I do understand that maybe this was a crime of just not necessarily passion, but just you acted out of the norm at that point. Nah, he got a public defender. We're dealing with the public defender. We talk to the public defender. Hey, tell him this. Don't allow him this. Don't supply this defense for him. Yeah, that's what they do. So if you ain't got no bread for no real attorney, a lot of times an attorney's gonna start at $5,000. That's just for them to take your case, come to court a couple times, and then they're gonna say, okay, if you want to proceed on, I need another $5. Then I need another $5. If you want to trial, I need another $20. See, they crooks, man. They crooks. They play games. They hustle you. Same way you hustle on the streets, an attorney will hustle your ass. Why wouldn't he take $5,000, $2,500 from you? He already got to be in court for 4 or 5 other cases that day anyway. So you're going to give me $2,500 just to go before the judge? Yeah, Your Honor, I'm here on the behalf of such and such. We like to waive formal arraignment, request a bond reduction. 2 or 3 minutes talking to the judge, and you get $2,500 when you was going to be in court anyway. That's how they do you, man. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to always keep it really real, Kids TV. You got some lawyers that are cool. You need attorneys. I just don't like their methods. I don't like the way that they hustle people, man. And it's legalized. It's a legalized way of hustling. It's like car insurance, man. It's a legalized way of hustling you. It's a syndicate. It's a pyramid scheme, but it's legal. But we get caught with a little dope. We get caught, cashing a couple checks, counterfeiting money or whatever. Get caught with a gun, ain't harming nobody, whatever. Y'all ready give us 40 years in the feds, life sentences. But who's the real crooks? Who's protecting who? Think about it. Who's protecting who? When you really dissect everything, who's protecting who? You have individuals out here dressing up as women that are not women. And when dudes find out they're doing something to this person that acted as though that they were a woman, but who's the victim? Or the individual that acted as though they were a woman. They the victim. Take the what and leave the what? Yeah, son Campbell, he steals my stuff, so guess what? I'm gonna start stealing his stuff. Take the what and leave the what? Be mindful, man. Be mindful of situations that you get yourself into, because you don't want to find yourself in the shoes of Tyler. Young man is going to get out at almost 50 years old, if he even makes it that far in the PA. He's going to the feds. It's not like he's going to a camp or no, he's going to like maximum, high, medium. All over a dating profile in which somebody deceived and lied to him, man. Real Kids TV. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment. Definitely share. Subscribe to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, be sure to hit that post notification. So anytime I bring you this action and this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive. Merry Christmas. I may hit y'all with another video. I don't know. I might not. I'm definitely going to hit you with another video, but I may hit you with another one tonight. But the way the YouTube algorithm works is not really, they don't suggest that you drop 2 videos back to back. So I might wait, but you never know. Real Kens TV.